Hello and welcome. I am your host of What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Author Karen E. Osborne. I have five novels out. The latest is Justice for Emerson. I am so glad that you're here. This is a space for readers and writers to come together and talk about books. I am so glad you guys are back. And we have something a little different today. Every once in a while, I do nonfiction books, especially when they're important, like this one is. So I want you to meet Joelle Kaufman. Say hello, Joelle.
Hello.
So Joelle is going to tell us about what you can see from her outstanding cover, what she's going to talk about. So Joelle, I thought maybe we could start with kind of why you wrote this book.
Sure. So, look, I have 43 years dealing with cancer in one form or another from different family members, including my own. And that sounds tragic or sad, and I wouldn't choose it. Like, it sucks. Like, I'd rather not. But I've learned some things, I've seen some things along the way. And when I was diagnosed in 2023, I used all that I learned to turn it into one of my happiest years ever, which was completely unexpected, totally
Mm.
unexpected. And now, in part of writing the book, I interviewed hundreds of cancer patients, hundreds of survivors, or people that are what's called stage 4, which means they have metastatic disease, but they're not dying, they're
Mm.
living. And my experience wasn't that unusual, that there were things we could do or let people do for us that could make this awful, terrible thing actually a uplifting experience, a
Mm.
experience of connection, of love, of strength and power. And so I figured, why should you have to go through the shit show in order to learn the lesson if I can share it with you? And if God forbid you're facing cancer, maybe I can share the wisdom of my experience and that of all of these other people in one place so that when you're feeling scared, uncertain, unmoored, you can open the book and say, I'm not alone and I have power.
Oh, wow, I love that. We're going through that in our family now.
I'm
And
sorry.
that's yeah, but evidently there's a good side to this. And I want to find out what it is. So
Yeah,
maybe you could share just um, a few of the things that you learned, a few of the
sure.
things that I, as a reader, am going to find that will make us, all of us out there that are going through this, just want to go pick up your book.
Sure. So, unfortunately, cancer is pretty common. Uh, you know, we're all going to face it in some way, not necessarily our bodies. And it is very unwelcome. It's never a good thing. I want to be clear. I'm not cavalier about that. And still, too many cancers are detected in an advanced stage. 50% are detected at an advanced stage. And that is unacceptable given what we know today, what we can do. Now, when you find yourself in this moment, either because, God forbid, you've heard it yourself or it's someone you care about, the first thing, if it's someone you care about, is what can I do? The first thing, if it's yourself, is what can I do?
Mm.
Now, if you're not the patient, you want to get my book and open to chapter 16, because chapter 16 is all the ideas from all of these people that have been through it about things people can do. And they're
Wow.
little things, right? Because
Like,
unfor like I live out of state, my parents are here, and my parent is going through this. What can I do besides go? But I have to work and I have my kids. And I said, hey, let me introduce you to DoorDash and Uber Eats. It's a great thing. Send them a meal once a week.
Mm,
right? Or
mm,
what I did with my own son who was in college and was not going to economically send me meals. I said, infusion days are kind of sucky and I would like to make them suck less. So would you mind? The thing you can do, my son, is send me a letter every week. It can be digital. You don't even have to deal with postage.
mm.
Send me a Google Doc once a week of a letter from you, and I will open it only at the infusion center between my labs and the start of the infusion. Now, that's a very
Wow.
anxiety ridden time, Karen, because if your labs
Mm,
aren't right, you can't get the infusion, and it means your body is struggling. And if your labs are good, you can get the infusion, but that's going to make you feel a little crappy. So, this is a moment where my 19-year-old sent a letter, and I have 12 of them. They were like digital chocolate. And
mm,
they cost nothing, Karen. That is a
mm.
zero cost thing anyone can do. And if a letter isn't your jam, send a text. If a text isn't your jam, send a photo. Anything you do to say, I'm with you, I'm thinking of you, that
Wow.
gives, right? So,
Yeah, you're
chapter
making me
16.
cry.
Well, but don't cry. I mean, I'm
No,
sorry, but
cry with yes,
joyful
yes.
tears.
A good
Yeah,
emotion. Yes.
right. Because people want to know what they can do. We all want to do something.
Yes.
And the fact is, unless you are a surgeon or an oncologist or a scientist, the limits of what you can do to actually deal with the cancer are pretty significant. But you can deal with the person. And all of the studies show that the single biggest correlation to response to treatment and and lack of recurrence is human connection,
Mm,
right? Feeling people around you. I can't say that's going to make you live. I'm not wise or prescient in that way. What I can say is it will make the process of whatever you're going through suck a lot less. And you might even find one of my podcast guests told me, and he was diagnosed, I think he was 36, diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. So this is a
mm,
very unusual situation. Young kids, not the answer he wanted. He's alive way longer than anyone thought. So that's awesome. He's 9 years. It's great.
mm.
And he
Wow.
said, yeah. And he said, like everyone says, I would never choose this, but I'm a better husband. I'm a better father, and I'm a better friend because of this.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
So now for those of us facing cancer,
Cancer itself.
right,
Yes.
that's the rest of the book, right? But depending on where you're at, you may want to know, what can I do to minimize side effects? Did you know, Karen, 8 to 10% of women don't go refuse chemotherapy because they're afraid of losing their hair.
Oh yeah. I lost
And
a friend. I know. That's why she chose not to do chemo. Young woman, beautiful. She had this beautiful, beautiful head of hair, young children.
right,
And
right,
she decided to do homeopathic
right,
because
right.
I know, she was just terrified of losing her hair.
And you don't
And she
necessarily
died.
have to, and you don't have to necessarily lose your hair. So we talk about that in the book because there are options. And if you want to use alternative therapies, there are options, but the best naturopathic oncologists will tell people it is in addition to, not instead of, right? Instead of will kill you, in addition to will make your life better. So the book is full of stories, checklists, and very actionable things for both the person going through it and the people around them.
That sounds, well, I'm buying your book right
Thank you.
away.
Thank you.
This is giving me great hope and inspiration. Yeah. So, well, first of all, how are you doing? How are you
Oh,
doing?
I'm so Karen, I named my cancer treatment the Cancer Obliteration Project. And I came to it, okay. Now, I came to it with a very privileged perspective. And it was privileged in multiple ways. Number one, my mother is a 43-year survivor, and my sister is a 23-year survivor. So my
Mm,
mental model is, and my cancer is genetic. My mental model is we get this thing, it responds to treatment, we live long lives. So
yes,
that's
yes.
my through line, right? So not everyone has that through line. So that's privilege. Number two privilege is I am able to afford health insurance that ensures I get great treatment. That is a privilege. And I knew I was going to get great treatment. Number three, I'm experienced with this. And so I knew the things to ask and ask for, which is why I wrote the book, why I do the podcast, is so everyone can get, like, I can't really help with the first two. I'm trying to give people other stories because frankly, Karen, if you flip on the any streaming service, TV, movies, or any book, overwhelmingly, cancer as a plot device is a dramatic tool. Someone's going to be very sick and someone's going to die and we're going to persevere. Okay, that does happen. But there's 20 million cancer survivors walking around the United States. A whole bunch of
Mm,
us are living. And that's just not a good dramatic story. I just happen to prefer the outcome.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow. So tell us about your podcast.
So my podcast is called Kicking Cancer's Ass, and it brings together, right, the stories, the strategies, and the science to give people hope, confidence, and power because, and this is very clear in the book, when you're facing cancer, and it might be true for everything, but this is the disease I happen to know. When you're facing cancer, you are the quarterback. You are the only one who is ensuring everything around you is happening. You are the only one who can advocate and express, I am feeling like this and I need this kind of support, whether that is pharmacological or massage or acupuncture. You are the quarterback. And I want people to step into that responsibility with knowledge and with curiosity to ask questions. So I do the podcast. So you can go to my podcast and you can search, hey, I want to know about IV vitamin C. There's a podcast episode that covers that. I want to
Mm,
know about preventing breast cancer. I got a bunch of podcasts that cover that.
You just froze for a minute there, Joelle.
Scared. Let me multiple people who are going to blow your mind.
Yeah, you just froze for a second. You were telling us about the podcast. Are you still with me? Joelle, I've lost you. And we were doing so well. It was such a good conversation, wasn't it, everybody?
Yeah, sorry, I think we had a glitch.
We did. I lost you there for about a half a minute.
I'm so
But I
sorry,
did.
everybody.
Yes, and I just apologize to everybody and because you have us hanging on your every word. So I know we didn't lose anybody during that glitch. And you guys know I don't edit, right? You guys all know that. So
Right.
we're just going to keep rolling on because you had us on the edge of our seats. So the podcast, I can type in my question and the episode will,
Yep.
I have so many questions, Joelle. So not only am I buying your book, but I'm going to your podcast. Tell us again the name of the podcast.
Kicking Cancer's Ass. You can find it
Kansas.
everywhere. You can find it on
Yes.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple. If you go to joellekaufman.com, and we can put that in the show notes, you can find the book, you can find the podcast. You can also find a bunch of tools I built, checklists, calculators. I want to put things out there so that everyone can create their own cancer obliteration story. And if your cancer can't be obliterated, I want you to create your story for how you're going to live.
Yes. How are you going to live? That's where we are. That's where we are. Living, living the best days every day
It's all
that
we
we
can do.
possibly can. And that's
And
all we can do. So,
and
well, you wanted to say something else. I'm
I'm just
sorry.
going to say, like, it's also a couple things I just want to, like, my public service announcement.
Yes.
Please don't tell cancer patients to be positive, be optimistic, have a good attitude, or that, some days won't suck. All of that is giving the cancer person more work to do. So instead of telling them to be positive, be optimistic, or what have you, do something that makes them smile.
Yeah.
That's the best you
Yes.
can do. And if they don't feel like smiling, they don't have to smile. I have said to people, if you want to go to a rage room, I'm down for it. Let's go break stuff. I'm fine with that. Like, feel what you feel, let it
Yeah.
flow. Um, and
Hmm.
cancer changes you. Every
Hmm.
time, even if you're a survivor like I am, every time you have an ache or a cough, you have the thought of, is it back? Right? That's just what we live with. So knowing that that's kind of an inevitable reaction, I encourage people to really latch on to the good moments and just squeeze all the juice out of those lemons, those oranges, whatever your favorite thing is, because like that's what sustains you. I created in my obliteration project these mini milestones. I had a party at 6 weeks of chemo, 12 weeks of chemo. I had a bye-bye boobies party before I had surgery. I mean, and these weren't big parties, these were little things. I had trips that I took while I was going through chemo because it gave me something to look forward to. And I had people coming to visit me, and that gave me something to look forward to. And this is better than be positive or be strong.
Yes. And better than people saying, telling stories about all the people they know that
Oh my
survived.
God, please don't. Don't tell
Because
stories.
yeah, how is that helping? So and so, and they just sailed through it. Well, good for them. But here we are, and we don't know
Well,
that we're sailing. Yeah, so
yeah.
that's awesome. That is really wonderful, wonderful. And if people want to be in touch with you, if people
Yep.
want to write you and ask you questions, or first of all, people. All of our books are sold every place you buy books. You can go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble. You can go to your library and ask for it. You can go to your local independent bookstore and ask for it, right? So you can also now, are you doing speaking engagements?
I do. I'm happy to come to communities and speak. I love sharing what I call the power of happiness tripwires and how because see what just happened? That, I want to explain to you what happened biochemically. You just had a boost of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, and it made you feel good because I got that great smile. It helped you focus. You're on me right now. And it gave your immune system a boost,
There you go. There you
right?
go.
Like, how many of those could we have a day? How great would we feel?
Yes, and laughter is absolutely the best medicine. Absolutely. So, where else can they find you?
Yeah,
Like, what's your website?
yeah.
Tell us where else they can
So,
find
so you can go to joellekaufman.com. So that's JoelleKaufman.com. There's a way to contact me right there. So feel free. I do get the messages. Alternatively, if you subscribe at KCA Podcast, that's the newsletter. That's how you'll get articles. That's a great place to search for any of the episodes and content. So I also respond to people through that. I'm not terribly hard to find. I'm not a doctor and I don't ever offer medical advice. I like people to realize everyone's pathology is unique. Even in the realm of breast cancer, there's over 140 varieties, and that's
you?
not accounting for the fact that my body is unique and different from yours.
Yes, and all your experiences are different, and all your supports are different. Yeah. Well, this has been an unexpected and wonderful pleasure. I mean, I always enjoy my guests, but this one really hit home. And
Thank you.
so I thank you so much for coming. And both Joelle and I thank you for coming. please be in touch with her. If this is resonating with you, if you know somebody who is going through cancer, what a gift to buy this book for them and give it to them as a present. One of those little things you can do to support somebody or introduce them to her podcast, right? So I know that you will act on this. You will be in touch with Joelle and you'll let her know that you met her on What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Until next week, everybody. Bye bye.